हेलो एंड वेलकम टू कंप्यूटरोलॉजी एकेडमी। और आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं जेपीएससी का, जो हमारा करंट अफेयर्स का सीरीज चल रहा था डिस्कशन का। सो इन दैट कोर्स वी हैड halted in between because of some technical issues, but now we are again back with the new videos, new current affairs, and those who are watching this live on Facebook can go on to watch the remaining earlier videos which are available on our YouTube channel, and now onwards regular videos will be available on the Facebook also as well as YouTube also. So according to your convenience you can go on to watch the videos from wherever you want, as well as the notes, free resources are available on our website as well as on our app also, which you can find under the JPSC tab, free resources. Thereafter JPSC, under that you will find all the free resources that are available from us, right? So now let us start with the discussion that what kind of important decisions that were taken by the cabinet of Jharkhand government. However, the recent news, as you all know, that has changed, that now the chief minister of Jharkhand is Champai Soren. Earlier he was not the chief minister and Hemant Soren was the chief minister, but recently due to the corruption charges he is under arrest, and now the new what we say chief minister is Champai Soren. सी में थोड़ा confusion हो जाता है, ठीक है. So now here first important decision was scholarship for school students, and it has been increased 3 times. So earlier also there was a provision of scholarship that was being provided to the school students, but now the amount has been increased around 3 times, up to 3 times. So this is not same for every student or the students who are studying in different classes. Accordingly, the increment has been introduced in different categories differently, right? So here the scheduled tribe, scheduled caste and the backward class students studying from class 1 to 10 all are eligible for the scholarship that is being provided by the government of Jharkhand, and in all those categories there is some increment, right? So first of all, the scholarship has been increased by 50% to 300% in different categories. And what is the classification? Class 1 to 4 student, class 1 to 4 student will witness an increase of 300%, that is from 500 rupees their scholarship has been increased to 1500 rupees, while those students who are studying in class 5th and 6th they will witness an increase of 50%, that is from 1000 to 1500, as well as again there is an increase, that is class 7 to 8th. Here the increase is around 66%, that is from 1500 to 2500, and thereafter the 9th and the 10th students will get the scholarship in between 2250 rupees to 4500 rupees. So this is the 100% increase that is has introduced in their scholarship, right? However, at the same time the post matric scholarship will be decided according to the need of the student, that in which courses, in which class they are studying, and accordingly their scholarship will be increased, right? Now here the green ration card. So the green ration card is an important thing for those people who are living below poverty line and those who are facing the problem to ensure their food security. Specifically the food security is ensured with the ration card, right? PDS system provides the food grains to these people, and in Jharkhand the total number of people who were having the green ration card was 15 lakh, right? So here the total number was 15 lakh, and now the government is planning to increase it by 5 lakh more beneficiaries, that is the number will be increased to 20 lakh people who will be holding the ration card, green ration card, right? So now the total beneficiary will become 20 lakh. Next is the guarantor for the Mukhyamantri Gram Swarojgar Srijan Yojana, has been increased. So here the ambit, the type of categories of the people who can become the guarantor of those people who want to start their own business, who want to start their own employment opportunities, like the street vendors, the rickshaw pullers, the e-rickshaw people. So such kind of people used to take the loan because of lack of capital to establish their own business, to start their own business. So for that matter, this scheme, the Mukhyamantri Gram Swarojgar Srijan Yojana, was started to facilitate them to avail the loan from the government, so as to start their own business opportunities, right, their own self-employment activities. And in that they needed a guarantor, so as to ensure that these people are worthy people, they will repay the loan or they will not run away or misuse the amount of loan or the funds of loan. So for that matter, this scheme was having a provision of guarantor also, but the number of the people, the class of the people who can become the guarantor of these people was very limited, and that was a big problem for these people to avail the loan. And for that matter, here the changes have been introduced in this scheme, and now the guarantors classification, the class of the people who can become the guarantor of such people who want to start their own business, they want to be self-employed, has been increased. So earlier only the guarantors used to be only the government employees, but now up to 50,000 rupees under this scheme, no guarantor is needed. Now no guarantor is needed. Till this time the guarantor was needed for availing a loan of 50,000 rupees also, but this provision has been removed. However, if somebody wants the loan of amount that should be above 50,000 rupees, then they should have a guarantor. But here again, now the employees working in the government, semi-government, private institutions, retired employees, elected people, pre-elected public representatives will be able to become the guarantor of such people who want a loan from the government under Mukhyamantri Gram Swarojgar Srijan Yojana, as well as Mukhia, Panchayat Secretary, MP, MLA, Ward Commissioner. So the ambit has increased quite largely. A huge number of people can now become the guarantor of such people who want to take the loan. And till date, before the introduction of this change, what was the situation? Only government employees and gazetted officers were eligible to become the guarantor of such people who wanted the loan under this scheme. So this was a big problem. First of all, if somebody goes on to approach the gazetted officer or the government employee, most of the time the situation is that they are inaccessible, they are not available. And apart from that, you are going to say that मेरे लोन का गारंटर बन जाए. यहाँ पर पड़ोसी का नहीं बनते, रिश्तेदार का नहीं बनते. तो a government employee, a gazetted officer, will he be in position or will he be willing to become the guarantor of such people? So that was a big problem, and because of that, this increase in the ambit of the guarantors has been introduced. And by this, what will happen? Now, if the Panchayat Secretary is there, MP is there, MLA is there, Ward Commissioner is there, so they will become the guarantor of such people, because they know that in future they have to take the vote of these people. They will become their voter. So for that matter, it will become very easy for such people to become to avail the loan from this scheme, right? So here, due to this, the youth belonging to the scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, minorities, backward classes, and the other categories which are eligible under this scheme to avail the loan, it will become very easy for them to get the loan, to garner the loan and become self-employed, right? Now, Guruji Students Credit Card Yojana. So this Guruji Student Credit Card Yojana, this was introduced to provide the loans to the students who are willing to go for the higher studies. And here again, the loan amount is up to 15 lakh rupees. Up to 15 lakh rupees of loan will be provided under this scheme to those students who are willing to study beyond class 12th in the higher studies like engineering, medical colleges or any other research or higher studies, and the amount of or the ambit of the interest will be just 4%. Generally the people get the study loan or the education loan that ranges the amount of the interest rate is around 8 to 12%, but here the government is paying the subsidy on these loans, and for that matter the rate of interest will be just around 4%, right? And here it will be available for diploma, graduation, PG, PhD, research, etc. And EMI will have to be paid after 1 year of completion of the course. एक साल पढ़ाई खत्म होने के बाद 1 साल तक आराम से नौकरी ढूंढ लीजिए, मिल जाता है. Thereafter you will have to start repayment of the loan. So that is again a good benefit to the students who are willing to go for the higher studies, and many of the students are in the society who are unable to go for the higher studies just because of lack of funds with them. Their family support is not so good, the financial situation is not so good. So for that matter, to the meritorious students who are willing to go for the higher studies, the government has started this scheme, right? And the government will pay the remaining amount of interest rate, that is whatever the charges of the interest rate that will be above 4%, that will be repaid by the government, as well as the cool off period that has been provided for 1 year, for that also the government will pay the interest. And if the amount is not repaid within 15 years, then the government will bear all the burden. The repayment will be made by the government itself if the repayment is not done within 15 years. तो ऐसे नालायक कितने ही होंगे जो पढ़ लिख लेंगे, कुछ तो काम करेंगे ही, right? So the risk is very less. Now here comes the Eklavya training scheme. Eklavya training scheme. So everybody knows from the mythology of Mahabharata who was the Eklavya and how he considered Guru Dronacharya as his guru, and with his idol itself he had trained himself in such a good way to become one of the best archer at that very time. And due to the fear, the Dronacharya had asked as Guru Dakshina from him his thumb, so as to make him disable and not to allow him to compete with Arjun or his own students, right? So that was the situation. Same as that here, Eklavya scheme is the preparation coaching scheme for civil services, banks, railways, SSC and other competitive exams. And here the target is that 27,000 will get the coaching in the first year of the scheme. From last year this scheme has been launched, and here the coaching will be provided to around 27,000 students in the initial stage in the first year, and they will also get a scholarship of 2,500 rupees every year for other expenditures like lodging, stationery or any other kind of expenditure whatever they will need, right? And the selection will be done through the entrance exam. Otherwise क्या होगा, सब कोई आ जाएंगे कि सर हमको भी एडमिशन दे दो, हमको भी तैयारी करनी है. Although their motive is not to get in the government exam or to work hard to clear the competitive exam, but they will come over there just for 2,500 rupees that they will get on monthly basis, right? तो ऐसा भी बहुत होता है. So for that matter, there will be a competitive entrance exam to get admission in the coaching and avail the benefit of this Eklavya training scheme. Thereafter, they will be provided with the training and coaching of civil services exams, banks, railways, whatever it is, right? And there is a list of the services or the type of coaching that is included under this scheme. For those matter, the education or the coaching will be provided, and this will include those youth whose parents are not paying the income tax. Again, there is a provision that those parents who are not paying any kind of income tax, only their children will be allowed to get admission under this scheme, right? So the needy people, not the greedy people, will be allowed, right? Now Mukhyamantri Sarthi Yojana. So here the youth will get training for the employment. Skill based training will be provided. job oriented training will be provided, right? So here this will be implemented at the block level, and 1000 rupees of traveling allowances will also be provided to those who are traveling to the coaching center or the training center to learn some skill like the welding, electrician, various kind of trades are over there, under which they will get trained and they will made efficient people to get any kind of employment in and around their locality, or even become self-employed also, right? But there is two mode of training. One is the residential type of training, in which the student will have to stay at the training center itself if the accommodation is available, and in case if the accommodation is not available, because that training center will be at the block level itself, so in that case 1000 rupees of the traveling allowances will be provided to these students, these trainees. And if the employment is not found within 3 months after the training, and then the 1 year incentive allowances will be given to them. So if somebody is actively looking for the employment, ऐसा नहीं कि कोई भी ट्रेनिंग करके बैठ गया सर पैसा दे दो, I am not employed, I am unemployed right now. So that will not be the situation here. What will happen? Those who are actively looking for the employment but are unable to get employed, those students will be provided with allowance, unemployment allowance, for 1 year after 3 months of the completion of the training, if they do not get that employment within 3 months, right? And this will be 1000 rupees for the boys and 1500 rupees for the girls, right? That will be the allowance. Now, education promotion scheme. So this education promotion scheme is basically to motivate the students to go for the higher studies, right? So continue their study. To continue their study, motivation will be provided. That is, the 10th pass students will get the coaching for engineering, medical, CLAT, hotel management and CA entrance exams. So for these examinations, the training, the coaching will be provided to the students so as to enable them to get entrance, get admission in higher studies, coaching educational institutes, right? So that will be the situation. And here 8000 students will be added in the first year, and later on it will be increased, and they will get a scholarship of 2500 rupees every month. Again the same scheme, right? And here the selection will be based on the entrance examination, and reservation method, the reservation categorization will also be followed under this scheme, right? The reserved category seats will be reserved, right? Now, half of the post of the teachers in the welfare schools will be for women. So here the prioritization of the women as teacher is being introduced. And here, what has happened? So there was some technical issue, so it has been sorted out. Now again we are live, right? So here the cabinet has decided to give 50% reservation to the women on the post of the teachers in the residential schools, those residential schools or the welfare schools that are being run by the state government. To them, the teachers, those will be employed over there will be women. More than 50% or around 50% at least will be there. The teachers will be women, and that is being run by welfare department, right? And 2050 per quintal minimum support price for the paddy purchase was approved by the cabinet. So this is going to be the MSP that has been approved by the state government cabinet for the year, that was for the year 2023. This year's paddy harvest is still to come, right? That will be in November, December. And this includes a bonus of 10 rupees per quintal, that is included in 20,050 rupees, as well as at the same time for the purchase of the grade A paddy, 2060 rupees per quintal plus a bonus of 10 rupees, that is total of 2070 rupees has been fixed. So in the grade A case, 20 rupees extra premium will be paid to the farmers in case of paddy minimum support price. And the state has set a target of purchasing a total of 8 lakh metric tons of paddy, and there will be a limit of purchase of 200 quintals of paddy per farmer. So this is basically to support those farmers who are the small and marginal farmers, to ensure that their harvest should get a better price. For that matter, this MSP has been introduced, and those farmers who are harvesting more than 200 quintals of the paddy harvest, then they are not the small and marginal farmers, so they can manage to sell their produce in the open market also, and they will get the good price. And that is why this limitation has been given over there. But that is not the case that they cannot sell it to the government. Even if they are large farmers, then also 200 quintals they can sell at the MSP price to the government, and the rest of the harvest they should sell on their own. This is the case, right? Now, 2500 rupees per month to the students living in the hostel, that is going to be given as the scholarship to those students who are living in the hostel. So the cabinet has decided to increase this amount by 2000 rupees. Why? Because earlier this amount was fixed at 500 rupees. Now they will get 2500 rupees who are living in the hostels, and this is for the hostel accommodation purpose. So they have to pay the rent in the hostel, and for that matter, as well as they have to ensure their food and the other expenditures also. And that is why the ST, SC and OBC category, minority category students who are studying in the school of the welfare department, they earlier used to get 2000 rupees per month, but they will now get 2500 rupees per month of the scholarship. Now, dependent of MG Narega worker will get 2 lakh rupees in case of accidents, death or any other loss, right? So here the Council of Minister has decided this, to pay 2 lakh rupees to the dependent of MG Narega workers if he dies in accident, and this was earlier only 75,000 rupees. So an increment of 1,25,000 rupees have been introduced in this scheme. And in case of injury, it was earlier 37,500. Now it will be at 75,000 rupees. And again here in the normal death, earlier it was 30,000 rupees. Now it will be 1 lakh rupees. So in every aspect of ex gratia compensation, or in case of that of the accidental compensation, the amount has been increased considerably, right? And the family of the person who died due to drowning in Doba. So Doba, construction of the Doba is one of the major welfare scheme, major welfare program that was launched by the government of Jharkhand in the year 2016, in which the water harvesting, rainwater harvesting was the basic motive, and to collect as much as of the water, as well as the percolation of water should increase so as to increase the level of groundwater, that will be helpful in the lean season or the summer season, when the dobas or the surface water bodies get dried up, but the groundwater can be used because it will get recharged during the rainy season from the water that is getting collected in the dobas and the other surface water bodies. So here that was being constructed by the MG Narega scheme, that doba was being constructed by the MG Narega scheme. So during the construction or during the, you may say, the maintenance work, if any of the Narega laborer or worker gets drawn in that doba, then in that case again they will get an ex gratia compensation of 1 lakh rupees, which was earlier 50,000 rupees, right? So this has also been increased. Now compensation for the damages caused by the wild animals has been increased. So earlier also there was compensation for the people who are getting killed due to the attack of the wild animals like elephants or any other kind of animals. And in case of elephants intrusion in the populated areas, again what happens, they do not attack the human beings only, but they damage the house and the other properties. They ravage the crops, destroy the crops, standing crops also. So these are causing huge losses to the farmers and those peoples who live around the forest region or those regions where the wild animals having their dwelling, right? So their sanctuary. So here the proposal is to amend the compensation in case of damage to life, property, and here the human who gets seriously injured by the wild animals, he will get 1 lakh rupees. Earlier he was getting 1 lakh rupees, now he will get 1.5 lakh rupees. So the 50,000 increment has been introduced in this. Whereas in case of minor injuries it was 25,000 rupees in place of 15,000 rupees. Now it will also be increased for the permanent disability. So suppose that some of the person is attacked in such a way that it is not a point of laughing at all, but in many cases what happens, the people pretend that they have got disabled or whatever it is, but in many cases actually they get such kind of injuries. So in such cases what happens, the compensation will be increased from 2 lakh rupees to 3,25,000 rupees in case of permanent disability, and that in case of the damage to the house, it has been increased from 1 lakh rupees to 1,20,000 rupees. Earlier the compensation in case of damage to house was only 1 lakh rupees, now it has been increased to 1,20,000 rupees. As well as in case of death, the attack, that amount is kept unchanged, that is at 4 lakh rupees. Earlier also in case of death the compensation was 4 lakh rupees, still it is 4 lakh rupees, right? Now 1% of interest to the girls student and 1.5% of the interest loan to the male student. So here the male and the female students are going to get the loans, education loan, and that loan amount will be at the rate of 1% of interest for the female students and 1.5% rate of interest will be there applicable for the male students, and that has been approved by the government of Jharkhand, and that is under Guruji credit card scheme. So earlier we have studied that it was 4% rate of interest, now it has been reduced to 1% and 1.5% for female and male students, right? So this is the whole thing. And now come to the major schemes for the farmers, of the state. So first is Godhan Nyay Yojana. So Godhan, from the name itself, it is quite self-explanatory that here the cow, the livestock will be distributed among the people, among the farmers. So under this scheme the government will purchase the cow dung from the cattle farmers and reasonable price from which biogas, organic fertilizers, etc. is being generated, and that will be prepared and that will be distributed among the farmers. So you know that the government is distributing the livestock to the many of the farmers, basically in the dryland region, where this is going to be a second source of income, a subsidiary source of income that supplements their livelihood. But most of the time what happens, the cow dung and the other wastage, or you can say the excreta produce, that is generated in their livestock herds, livestock residential areas, keeping areas, that is not being utilized properly, that is not getting monetized. And for that matter, the government has prepared this plan. Here what they will do, they will purchase the cow dung, thereafter they will generate the biogas from it, and they will prepare the organic fertilizer also, and that will be sold in the market, and the income generated from that will be paid to the farmers. So it will increase their income again, right? Next is integrated Birsa Gram Vikas Yojana. So here Krisak Pathshala scheme is this. So here what is going to happen? The farmers will be provided with training. The farmers will get trained over here, right? So here under the integrated Birsa Gram Vikas Yojana, a village will be selected from each district, and that will be designated as Birsa Gram, Birsa village. So here basically training and demonstration work will be done, and under this farmers group will be trained by establishing the farmers schools, and the markets will be made available to the farmers by connecting them with the various aspects of agriculture, right? So here all these things will be provided, basically how to cultivate market fit crops, cash crops or food grains or whatever it is that may generate good amount of income for the farmers. That training will be provided, as well as they will also get the training in how to market those products, as well as how to access the market. All these kinds of supports will be provided to these farmers, right? Now here Masalya Mega Lift Scheme. So this Masalya Mega Lift Scheme is in, what is happening? No issues. Dumka district, right? Dumka district in Santhal Pargana. So basically this is a lift irrigation scheme, and here there will be irrigation facility that will be provided to large part of the Dumka district through the pipeline irrigation facility. This will not be an open irrigation facility, because this is a lift irrigation scheme, which means that from the low lying areas the water will be pumped to the higher altitude areas, and for that matter open drainage system or canal system is not going to be fit. So the piped irrigation system is being developed to provide the irrigation facility in the tribal dominated Dumka district in the Santhal Pargana region, and this will again increase the cropping intensity. It will provide the irrigation facility, so various cash crops or various types of different crops in different season can be cultivated by the farmers, which will increase their economic condition, which will ensure a better livelihood to these farmers, right? Now Krishi Samriddhi Yojana 2021. So the objective of this scheme is to collectively provide irrigation facility by the solar based deep boring facilities at the block level. So you people might have witnessed various of the towers in many rural regions, above which there will be a water tank, and that facility runs on the solar plate. There is a motor that will be pumping the water from the borewell to that tank, and thereafter it can be used by the farmers for irrigation facility and the other works, or even they are using it for the household purpose also. जनरल टर्म में उसको जल मीनार कहते हैं, आप लोगों ने सुना भी होगा. In various newspapers it has also been mentioned, and recently it is being developed, it is being constructed at various places at the block level in different rural areas, and that scheme is being basically implemented by the panchayat, right? Now integrated fisheries plan 2021. So basically this is to increase the fish production in the state, and in terms of consumption also the state of Jharkhand is way below the national average in terms of consumption of fish, right? So here the objective of this scheme is to provide more income to the beneficiaries at less cost. So here basically integrated type of farming in which you can farm the pig, fish and other type of animals or birds also. which are having a good market value. So the combination may be fish and duck, fish and pig. So such kind of, because the excreta of duck or the pig will be a feed for the fish also. So in this way, the same amount of investment or a bit higher investment will generate double or more than double of the income. So this is being planned. So this is being implemented on experimental basis, and if it will be successful, then the whole plan will be expanded throughout the state, right? Now, bull pair distribution scheme. So all we know that in the traditional farming system, in the subsistence farming system, the bull is one of the basic necessity of the farmers to plow their field, right? And for that matter, one pair of bull cost around 50 to 60,000 rupees, which is a big investment for a small and marginal farmer. And one pair is always needed because single bull will not be in position to pull the plow, right? And that is why the government is planning to provide the bull pair to the small and marginal farmers, right? And under this scheme, the male calves received from the farms of the farmers will be reared, will be developed into good bull. They will be fed, they will be taken care of, and when they will develop in a bull, thereafter they will be redistributed among the farmers, right? So this will be implemented in the remote areas, basically in the areas which are near to the urban areas or which are having a good concentration of population. There are availability of tractors and the other facilities are also, and the farmers can avail the services of those at a lesser cost. But in the remote areas, rural areas, tribal areas, such facilities are very less. So they are dependent on the bulls, the livestock, right? And that is why this is being implemented in the remote areas, so as to increase the profit of the farmers and support the farmers, right? Now, farmers loan waiver scheme 2021. So this scheme was started in 2021, and under this scheme every year the loans of the farmers are being waived off, and this is being waived off, that is up to the amount of 50,000 rupees by paying just a token money of rupee 1. So every year a loan waiver mela is being organized by the government, by which 50,000 rupees loan up to that means is being waived off by payment of just 1 rupee as a token money, right? Now, the livestock development scheme 2021. So under this scheme run by the agriculture, animal husbandry and cooperative department, there is a provision of giving 100% grant amount to 1 lakh rural urban farmers of the state for purchasing goats, pigs, chickens, ducks, mulching cows. So basically this grant is being provided to the farmers, that is a 100% grant, so as to supplement their income, to provide them with a source of income, that is a perennial income that should give them a livelihood source throughout the year. Because all we know that Jharkhand is a rain-fed agricultural area. In this state, what happens? 95% of the farmland is under paddy farming during the summer monsoon season, and that is the huge source of income. That is, I think, the main source of income for the farmers. Very less number of the farmers go for cultivating the rabi crop or the jaid crop using the irrigation facility, because the irrigation facility is not sufficient, as well as the paddy production is also not good in the state, and because of which most of the time the farmers are always in a planetary condition. They are not getting that much of harvest that they can sustain their life throughout the year, and for that matter, to supplement their income, to provide them with a source of income that should sustain their livelihood throughout the year, this 100% grant is being provided for purchasing goats, pigs, chickens, etc., from which they can generate their perennial income, right? Now, Birsa Green Village Scheme. Here this scheme is the scheme that will provide employment in planting, cultivation of the fruit trees. So basically this is related to horticulture, development of horticulture in the state. So under this, the priority will be given to the elderly and the widowed women in employment, so as to employ them and provide them with a source of income. So here the basic thing is that the plantation of the saplings of the horticulture or the fruit plants is not that much of labor intensive. And for that matter, the elderly people and the widowed women will be fit, and most of the time what happens, these people are not getting employed in such kind of work or such kind of work avenues which need higher level of work intensity, labor power, strength, and that is why the government is planning to employ them for planting the saplings of the fruit trees in the orchards or the horticulture, right? Now, Sahid Nirmal Mahato Work Federation. So this is basically a labor union or labor union type of organization type of thing. So here, along with providing the secure and continuous employment to the workers, their family will also be helped under this scheme. And similarly, the Sidhu Kanu Agricultural and the Forest Product Cooperative Federation will be formed to make the arrangement for the proper collection and marketing of the forest produce. So this organization will do what? This will be a type of cooperative federation or cooperative organization in which minor forest produce like bidi patta, like honey, like flowers or papers or herbs type of thing, lac, salt seeds. So such kind of things that are being mahua seeds, various kind of minor forest produce are there in the forest which are being collected by the people who are residing in and around the forest, and they sell it in an unorganized market. And because of that, what happens? They do not get good amount of remuneration for their work. That is not beneficial for them. Like if you know about henna honey. So henna honey is having a geological tag, geographical indicator, right? So here the GI tag has been provided to henna honey, and that is being produced in and around only the Palamu National Park, Palamu Wildlife Sanctuary Tiger Reserve, and this is having a different kind of taste, different kind of aspect. But earlier the tribals, the people who were collecting this honey were selling this in an unorganized market, and they were not getting good remuneration. But the government did what? They made a cooperative society, they installed the processing plant and the other things, and now they are getting good amount of money. So the same thing is being introduced for other forest produce, minor forest produce like la, sal, honey, tamarind, silk, mahua, etc. that are being collected from the forests of Jharkhand by the tribal people as well as the people who are living around the forest, right? Now, special crop scheme. So again, the special crop scheme is being implemented at the block level by the government, and this has been introduced to cultivate agroclimatically fit crops in different blocks according to its soil condition, according to its rainfall condition, climate condition. So all these things are being kept in mind, and here 50-50 hectare sample size of lands are being developed, in which in some places rajma will be cultivated, in some places like kabuli chana, groundnut, whatever it is. So whatever is fit according to the climatic condition of that block, that region, that selected plot, that will be cultivated under this scheme, and this will again increase the income of the farmers. This cluster will be developed at the block level, right? Now, Nilambar Pitambar Water Prosperity Scheme. Nilambar Pitambar Water Prosperity Scheme. So here various structures of water conservation is being constructed like check dams, small dams, water harvesting, roof water harvesting and other things, right? Doba, etc. All these. So annual water conservation capacity of the state will be increased by 5 lakh crore liters through this scheme, and that will ensure the availability of water resources during the lean season, during the summer season. So here it will ensure that the barren lands should brought under cultivation again with the use of these harvested waters, and 5 lakh acres of the barren land are targeted to be brought under cultivation with this scheme, and 10 crore working days of the employment will be generated for the MG Narega laborers for by the construction of these water harvesting infrastructures, right? Now come to Jharkhand Meethi Kranti scheme. So before we move on, I would like to mention it again, those who have joined us right now, like lately. So the documents, the PDF of all these topics are available on our website as well as on our app also. You can go on to download these documents, download this PDF and go on to revise them, as well as the geography summary has already been provided on our website and the app. You can go on to revise from that, as well as many more notes are going to be available over there. So you should subscribe our channel also and follow us on our Facebook handle, so as to get informed whenever we upload new documents, new notes, or whenever we are live for such kind of discussion. And if you want to take the test, then you can go on to our website. The tests are also available over there. So now again come to Jharkhand Meethi Kranti scheme. So the Meethi Kranti Yojana was introduced to double the income of farmers of Jharkhand, and under this scheme a financial assistance of 1 lakh rupees as well as training will be provided to the farmers, right? And an amount of 80,000 rupees is being given by the state government, and 20,000 will be spent by the farmers, so as to improve their facilities, improve their equipments and the other things, right? Now Jharkhand Crop Relief Scheme. Jharkhand Crop Relief Scheme. So again, this is a scheme which has been introduced to provide the damages, insurance for the damages that is caused to the farmlands or the crop due to the disasters, natural disasters, right? So any of the loss that is caused to the farmers due to natural disasters, the government has started this scheme in place of Pradhan Mantri Crop Insurance Scheme, Prime Minister's Crop Insurance Scheme. In place of that, this scheme has been started, and that will provide the insurance facility to the farmers through the insurance companies, and that will be provided only to the रजिस्टर्ड फार्मर्स. ऐसा नहीं कोई भी आके बोले सर मेरा भी इंश्योरेंस इतने एकड़ में जमीन है कर दो, ठीक है. सो दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. Chief Minister's Krishi Ashirwad Yojana. So this is basically a financial assistance scheme under which a minimum of 5,000 rupees and maximum of 25,000 rupees per acre will be provided to the farmers for cultivation of kharif crop. So whenever the kharif crop, like that is paddy, is going to be cultivated, there is a need of investment to purchase the seed, to purchase the fertilizer, to get the farmlands plowed if they are outsourcing it using the tractors. So such kind of investments are needed, and for that matter the government is providing this financial assistance, and under this scheme allowances will be given for maximum of 5 acres of land. ऐसा नहीं कि किसी के पास 100 एकड़ जमीन है तो सर हमको भी 5 लाख रुपए दे दो, ठीक है. So that is not going to be the case, right? Now Jharkhand Krishi Card Scheme. So this Krishi Card Scheme is same as going to be like that of the Aadhaar card, a unique identification number with all the details of the farmers will be provided to the farmer, and this will enhance the provisioning of the various benefits and the facilities to the farmers directly. It will eradicate the intermediaries as well as it will reduce the leakages and the pilferages. So the actual beneficiaries who are in the need actually, they will be provided with the that of facilities or that of subsidies, so there will be no wastage of the resources, right? Now Jharkhand free mobile phone scheme, so again this is for the farmers, where free of cost smartphones is going to be distributed among the farmers so as to enable them to have the knowledge, have the information with respect of any of the scheme facilities, market price, APMC, ENAM. So such kind of things will be available to the farmers through the smartphone, because now it is a tech era, right? So here the apps, the internet, all these kind of things are very beneficial for having the information of different things, and the farmers are unable to get these things due to the lack of smartphone, and for that matter the government of Jharkhand is going to distribute smartphones to 28 lakh farmers of the state. सबको एक एक मिलेगा, ठीक है? And they will be registered, they will be connected to the ENAM portal also, E-National Agricultural Market, right? Now Jharkhand free farm loan scheme, free farm loan scheme. So here again the farm loan will be provided to the farmers, agricultural loan will be provided to the farmers at 0% interest rate, and under this scheme the interest charged on the agricultural loans of the farmers will be borne by the government for 1 year, but it is mandatory for the farmers to repay the loan within 1 year. If they will fail to do that, then again farmers खुद ही भर दो भाई, एक साल के लिए दिए काफ़ी है, you have harvested the crop, you had invested the loan amount in the farmland, now the produce is there, you have got benefited, so you should repay your loan, right? So this is the case. So here we finish off the topics, that is important cabinet decisions as well as the important schemes for the farmers. We will get back with the other topics as well, and very soon we are going to discuss the MCQs for these topics also, current affairs topics as well as related to Jharkhand, some like of static part as well as the other things. So stay connected, do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we are live again. Thank you very much and have a nice day.